Belisarius Cawl is the Imperium's leading heretic genius and saviour after he brought back Rabute and introduced the Primaris to 40k. But when was he chosen for this role? If it's the case by the Emperor, what minds did he learn from and absorb knowledge from? What sense of self has he lost along the way? Friends, let's find out, and welcome to another 40k video drawing on the great work of Belisarius Cawl by Guy Haley. At this time, Cawl is with his friend Friedrich. They have escaped Horus's war fleet and are in the warp, and they, on board the ship they are going round in, have a clone of Hester Aspersius Sigma Sigma, a treacherous Magos who sided with Horus. They discuss how this is a way to be immortal. Cawl says this is her last clone, Seed. Her long life is ended. He also tells his friend that all the knowledge of a Sigma Sigma is in the clone. He envies her mind as a tactician, and perhaps what he learns from her helps inform his creation of the Primaris and their weapons. Cawl says his attitude is to learn all you can from who you can. He mentions Diacomes, who he was a student of, and who was an incredibly skilled biologian. And I think it's implied Cawl might have also put that person's mind into his own, though he doesn't really come across that technology till later on, so that's questionable. Such is life's great test, said Cawl. Now the linkage of minds has been possible since the age of technology, but there are a number of risks. Full linkage between living minds leads inevitably to psychosis, as the personalities make war on each other for dominance, hence the need for the moderation of the manifold in our Titan Legio. As such technologies demonstrate, it is impossible to achieve full blended consciousness between two living minds. Of course, it is possible to boost one's own brain power by linkage to a cloned or repurposed brain, thoroughly wiped, but the key there is that the brain be unformed, and the patterning must be undertaken by the user. And if he knows that, I think he might have been able to use it in that particular circumstance where there isn't another personality fighting him. If one wishes to gain the full extent of knowledge within a deceased or living brain, it is impossible, for knowledge is indivisible from experience, and personality is the accumulation of experience. Ergo, personality must survive. And that's just blown my theory a second ago out of the water, so never mind that. Therefore, absorbing a person's full knowledge risks conflict between personalities, which leads to psychosis, said Friedrich. Leads to death and the loss of knowledge, said Cawl. It is not a risk, it is a certainty. Diacomes, however, was certain this could be overcome. There are many interpersonal cybernetic networks, temporary and permanent, that enhance the capabilities of all involved, but no way of absorbing human knowledge into an extant personality without damage or destroying that personality. Did Diacomes do it? The Dark Age technologist did it. He was sure of that. There is a way to transcend human limitations. Knowledge may be passed on, and perhaps like with a lot of technology in 40k, that initial technology by the Dark Age technologists propagated itself down through the ages in a similar way and informed things like the creation of the Imperial Knights and the Titans. So we know who could do it, but who figures out how to employ this technology? For that we jump to Ezekiel Sedayne. Now he has lived for a long time, and is dying when we meet him. And when he sought knowledge earlier in his life, the Emperor spoke to him, disguised as the master of lines, he who ensures purity of blood and genes amongst the people of the region. The Emperor offers to teach Sedayne. He says, "You will be of great value to me many times over," perhaps hinting at the guy's extended long life, perhaps hinting at his secondary life under the superior mind of Cawl. And the Emperor ends with, to Sedayne, "I have such wonders to show you. The great work begins." Cawl and Friedrich are forced to meet Ezekiel Sedayne. Sedayne says, "Do you know that the black carapace was an unusual part of the Astartes program? It is the final stage implant, and unlike some of the other organs that can, if necessary, be grown internally from seed germs, the carapace must be grafted in substantial pieces. Once in place, it encourages the human body to adopt it as its own, and it spreads. It is an engineered, controlled cancer. Without it, their neural plugs are hard to implant, and without the plugs, they cannot control their armor. As glorious a creation as the Legiones Astartes are, they are creatures of two parts, the biological and the mechanical, not so very different from the quarters your cult friends find so appealing, the union of man and machine, yes?" And then he goes on to say that he, Sedayne, made the black carapace work. and then says to Cawl, "Name me the methods of direct knowledge transfer." Engamic reproduction, said Cawl. Psychic rip, genophagy, noospheric upload. There are many, but they are flawed. Dichomes thought there was another way, said Cawl. The direct grafting of one consciousness via machinic connection through the insospheric medium from one mind to another. This involved Xenos tech. Cawl warns the tech is dangerous for both parties. Sedayne says his memories and discoveries to Cawl are a gift. Cawl does not want it. Hear me out. I perfected Dichomes techniques. It will succeed. Minutes is all it will take. Minutes to grant you my lifetime's knowledge. I chose you because you have memcore alterations recommended to you by Dichomes. Think what our intellects might achieve together. It is not together, is it, Director? I know that one intended effect of these memcore alterations is an increased receptiveness to mental overwriting. It's one of the reasons I left him. He was using us, Cawl sighed. Dichomes was almost successful during my apprenticeship with him, said Cawl. It is theoretically possible to blend minds permanently, but Dichomes found that the donor mind always suppresses and ultimately supplants that of the host body. Although it would have been the great failing of his work had all the test subjects not gone mad or died, I'd say. There were bigger failings on balance. Sedayne confirms Cawl will be overwritten. They hurt Cawl's friend, Friedrich, and so Cawl agrees to the procedure. After it begins, we go into the minds of both. Cawl and Sedayne, Sedayne and Cawl. The two merged and fought like competing currents in a turbulent sea, both indivisible yet clearly at war. A paradox in the making. Cawl remembered, Sedayne remembered. They both saw what the other saw and felt what the other felt. And Cawl was being washed away, but then, bang, he is in a memory, and someone speaks to him. "Belisarius Cawl," said the Emperor. "My name is Ezekiel Sedayne," said Sedayne. "For now," agreed the Emperor, in their mind. And when Sedayne, or is it Cawl, wakes up, Sedayne asks if Cawl's friend, the other tech priest, Friedrich, lives. Sedayne is told that he does, but not for long. Sedayne says a memory explode might work, and says he gave his word to do that even though Cawl is now lost. He goes to meet him. Friedrich says Cawl was his friend. Sedayne replies, "He sounds like a terrible fellow. Perhaps I should have chosen someone less pompous." "Cawl?" Friedrich says, recognizing something. Cawl revealed then that he was still in charge, and he holds the gun to Sedayne's assistant or servant, who shot his friend to get him to agree to the operation. He says, in a great line for Cawl, "Do you think Sedayne's insipid personality could overwrite mine? She went for her own gun, but Cawl was quicker. He says first, 'I don't take kindly to those who kill my friends, madame,' and his shot took her head off. His friend is brought back as QVO-88, and Cawl says he still feels the wounds he has absorbed, both the ones we have learned about and others." And that really does say that Cawl's probably done some sort of type of this procedure before. Perhaps he let Sedayne take him so that he would be the dominant personality, having learned about the procedure before, but that's not really been in the text, that's just me having a little speculation. So coming out of the video, my question is how Cawl came through on top. Perhaps, as I said, the enhancements he did to himself, Sedayne did not know about from what he learned from Hester Sigma Sigma and the others. Or was it the Emperor? He saw what Cawl could do to save his empire, a fail-safe, a fallback plan. So he taught Sedayne, and later when the merging happens, he makes sure Cawl's come out on top. Perhaps some mental failsafe installed in Sedayne by the Emperor so that he would be the one to fall to Cawl. We can only speculate. What do you think? Join me in the comment down below.